How's it going, guys? This is Blue from the future. You won't have seen an ad in front of this video, and there's a reason for it. This video also is probably going to get very few views because get some real heavy stuff going on, and frankly, I think it's going to kind of be a theme for at least the next couple videos. So I'm going to give a warning right now, plain and clear. If you're extra sensitive to life and death questions, to suicidal thoughts and actions, those are a reality this game is going to try and tackle. And we're going to have to see if it can deliver on it properly. But it's very sensitive topics. And YouTube is going to flag it anyway, and I'm going to flag it too. So if you even managed to find this video, I'm grateful you're here. Please join me for a journey. I think it's important to be able to ask ourselves and to think about tough topics, but it needs to be delicately handled. It needs to be safely handled, and people need to understand that, like, whilst a story can try and take something terrible and make it beautiful, that it's also important to understand that there are going to be far more adverse effects, regardless of how narratively blissful it is or how peaceful it sounds. Like, it can be irresponsible, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like they should have to lose hope or that it's ever going to be the right choice. Because I'm sure as we explore the next couple of episodes, we're going to be seeing the devastating effects these types of choices and even like potentials can hold. And I just want to give you a heads up for that. Obviously, it's a little spoilery of what you're going to see here, but we kind of heard it coming for a while now, and I was kind of bracing myself for it, and so I don't want to be like too obtuse to risk like taking you by surprise. Watch this video at your own risk. That being said, the music's good. We have a lot of important stuff we talk about, and just because something's uncomfortable doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it. Just make sure you're prepared. Anyway, I hope you enjoy, and I look forward to hearing your comments. But yep, here we go. How's it going, guys? Well, welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Forgotten Trace, the Thanatos and Nostalgia. Now, things got real spicy last time. We had a lot of, like, dialogue, and I still have no earthly idea what's going on, but it's gotten a lot more interesting. And now we had the branching paths where we see things from different points of view, but at the same time. So now we're having Kazuya, Madoka, and Ibuki, so everyone on the roof. I'm guessing that we're going to see what happens now that Madoka's finished whatever her mission is, and I'm really scared that she's just not going to be around anymore. So naturally, I'm going to choose to do things from Madoka's point of view first. I want to see what she's thinking, what's going on in her mind, and then what happens after that. And then we just get to deal with all this madness of just like, what on earth is happening? I mean, I don't even know. So yeah, we'll just have to jump right in and see how it goes. Because, like, other than the fact that, like, we've learned about all these, like, what do they call them? Like Dipperites or something. Like, it's all about the northern, like, hemisphere constellations. And, like, each person has inherits attributes. We still don't know if is this like a reincarnation thing where they're just being reincarnated with these abilities and they've been fighting throughout, like, lines of history. Was it something that started a while ago but they lost the memory of for some reason? I don't know. It's just like, it's really interesting. So we'll have to just see what the heck's going on, and we're gonna start with Madoka. All right, here we go. So it'll be okay, all right? I say this to Kazuya and put on a smile. I've been assured of something. He will definitely protect Ibuki. He'll definitely win this harsh fight with the North Zarya. North Zarya, that's what they are. No matter what terrifying or cruel things await. Because I... This is farewell, Ibuki. I knew it. And Kazuya. I lean against the fence and say this to the two of them. If I don't lean on something right now, I might collapse. My head is heavy as lead. My body keeps trembling and something hot is coming up my throat. It feels like my consciousness is fading, like my body has been replaced by an empty vessel. It seems that it's about time. Strangely, I'm not scared. There's only minutes left. That's the point I'm at. I objectively measure my own lifespan. Their faces are gradually getting hazier. Madoka, what do you mean, farewell? Ibuki asks me this. Ibuki has no idea what's going on. That's right. This is farewell, Ibuki. The time has already come. My time limit ends here. I answer plainly, and Kazuya doesn't hesitate to strike back. What do you mean by my time limit? Do you not have time? If so, don't worry about me and go back. You don't look well. We can stop here and do this some other time. The things I haven't told him. There's a mountain of them. There's a lot of things we still haven't talked about. The truth about Miss Doll, about the 4 mansions, Saddle Sud. Sorry, Kazuya. I couldn't tell you who that Nazaria is, no matter what. I couldn't say any more than that considering Ibuki. Because that person had become an emotional support for Ibuki. Uh-oh. Has become an emotional support for Ibuki. Is it her? Like, is it her, or is it like another person maybe we haven't met yet for Ibuki? Or could it be like Rei? I don't know. I'm truly sorry. And one more thing. Kazuya, you're... about your dad, too. I open my mouth to speak. Yeah, there are a lot more things I want to talk about, but it seems like this is it. It's unfortunate. I wish I'd met you guys a long, long time ago. I wanted to meet you. Talk about various things, laugh at trivial things, fight sometimes, then laugh again, like that. We'd understand and get to know each other. Those kinds of normal things. Happiness. I wanted to experience them with you guys. How wonderful would it have been if I had met you guys from the start? How happy would I have been? You've shown me just by being together. Ibuki's warmness, Kazuya's strength, but it's a bit dazzling for me right now. What are you saying? Didn't you finally grasp happiness? Aren't you going to walk on those 2 legs from now on? Also, we can be as good of friends as you want, right? Good man, Kazuya. You have no clue what's going on, but at least you're being kind. Happiness. That's right. I finally obtained happiness. Not for my dream of being a stage actress, but for another dream. That's why I've come this far. These 2 legs of mine, they're the first step toward that dream. Yes, in order to jump out of this small, narrow world. That's right, Madoka. Haven't we always been friends? That won't change. Let's talk lots and lots again. I want to hear your stories too, Madoka. I'm not going anywhere. You won't go anywhere either, right? You'll always be by my side, right? Ibuki desperately tries to persuade me. It hurts when I see that kind of expression on Ibuki's face. I don't want to go either. But... because I shared my heart with that person. Sorry, I can't anymore. Madoka? I promised Miss Doll. This is the price I must pay for her making me like this. Oath. Trade. This is connected to my happiness and Miss Doll's happiness, as well as Ibuki's and Kazuya's happiness. Didn't I tell you? Everything was inevitable, not a coincidence. This was supposed to happen. It can't be helped. Ibuki's expression clouds over even more. It feels like Ibuki's light is gradually growing weaker. Unable to stand it a moment longer, I avert my eyes. Sorry. I'm sorry, Ibuki. It's painful to look at you. If I were a little stronger... Tears are about to fall from my eyes. When I see Ibuki like this, I feel like I'm going to cry to the point my face is scrunched up. I grit my teeth and hold back the tears, and take a really deep breath to calm my emotions. I can't show her tears right now. I look up at the sky to stop the tears from falling. The blue sky appears warped, but it's beautiful, as its beauty is the same as always. Into this great big sky, soon I'll... Yes, soon... I prepare myself. This is the last. I put my hand on the fence and using all my power, I make a big leap over it. Gosh darn it, I didn't want that to be like this. My body wavers. Whoa. I get my balance on the unsteady legs and set foot on the roof's ledge near the edge. This is really close. I can barely stand here. Holding onto my consciousness, I focus in front of me. I can see my beloved town there. The town I was born in. The town I was raised in. The beloved town full of so many memories. I'm not scared. I'm strangely comfortable. Is this how Ibuki felt too? So she knew. No, you aren't allowed to this feeling. Because you still have hope. Because there's a path laid out before you. I can't fail. I swear to myself to do my absolute best for Ibuki's sake. This is my last stage. Why? I don't understand. Like, how is this supposed to be a part of it? Like, it's like, obviously there's some kind of bargain. But why is the bargain? We better get an explanation for this, because there's no good excuse for ending your life prematurely. Like, I can understand wanting to. And I can understand that that's a personal battle that really no outsider has any right to intrude upon. But, like, it just brings so much pain in general. And there's so much, like nothing is ever so far gone that it can't be redeemed. There's no person or situation, at least that I can comprehend. Granted, I can't know all things, but making a choice like this, like, I can understand that for the plot's sake, there's got to be, like, a deeper reasoning and meaning behind it. But it's so dangerous at the same time, because you won't want to accidentally make it seem like a beautiful thing. Like, does that make any sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense here. It's just one of those things where it's like, it can certainly add a lot of context. And it can be a powerful motivator or life-changing event. It is a life-changing event for everybody involved and people who aren't even involved. But, like, it's such a terrible choice. And it's such a, I don't know, empty is that word? Like, things are bad and things really suck in life. And people can really end up being in situations that there is no, like, silver lining or end to the tunnel per se, but there's still so much good that can be done with people. Like, no matter how terrible life gets, there's always a greater purpose you can serve, a greater way you can rise above and be something inspirational and needed in this world. So just make sure you walk away from this with that. Like, this is a story. Stories are plotted and can be made in ways that are understandable, justifiable, because it's fiction. But when you're talking about such a serious, heavy topic as this, and when you try and potentially make it seem like a thing that can be like a beautiful thing or a necessary thing, like, it's never necessary. And it's never beautiful. But, I don't know. I doubt you need to hear me say this, and I doubt that it's something that can even make sense to people who might be facing similar situations as this. I'm a stranger on the internet. I don't know your situation. I never will. And I have had a great life. Like, I haven't had a ton of hardship. And whilst I've had my doubts and my fears and my down feelings, and I struggle with depression, like, it's not super severe. It's not something I can't handle and haven't been able to have access to help to be able to handle. Like, I've been able to have the clarity of mind to recognize that I needed the help and got the help really early and continue to seek the help. Like, that there's so many people out there who don't have those opportunities, options, or even clarity of mind to understand. But as a rule of thumb, like, there are so many people who I've met who've made their lives better, even when they faced horrific circumstances. Like, people whom I love, people who I'm friends with, people whom I, like, have shared everything with. Like, I know that they've faced things that can drive people to this extreme of, like, saying it's not even worth it. But they've made lives that are better. They've become happy. Like, no matter how dark it feels, there is a way and a time and a place and options for people to find genuine happiness. Not a fake happiness, not a TV happiness, not a game happiness. Like, genuine, real happiness. Even when things were dark. Even when things felt like there was no hope. Like, it's very possible. And so when somebody takes that ultimate step and takes away that opportunity, they just, I don't know. I can't judge them. I can only grieve for them and grieve for those whom they leave behind. So I knew this was kind of probably coming, but I'm still like, it needs to be said. So I'll keep moving on now. Watch me. Please don't, Ibuki. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. And I like Madoka, dang it! You're my favorite character so far!
おい何やってんだよ
Their voices, like angry roars, sound like they're piercing my ears. My chest hurts, like I'm trying to wipe away the pain. I speak to stop Kazuya from coming over.
来ないで
They both stop in response to my voice. Thanks to my yelling, my body wavers even more. A little more, just a little more. Come on, body.
わかるよね
No?
和也くんあの森の女性と出会って自分の使命に目覚めそして前へと進んでいく私もそうだよ自分の気持ちがぶれないように前へと進みたいのこの今の気持ちがこれからやってくる黒い気持ちに食い尽くされないように
Dark emotions. Absolutely forbidden emotions. I won't forgive myself for such things. My dad is smiling within my heart even now. I want to always believe that. I'll confront my current feelings and head on, believing in myself without looking back. It's the same. It's the same for you, Kazuya. You can only believe in yourself and fight from now on. No matter what suffering awaits you, you can't run away from it. That's where you're different from me. I may have run away in a sense, though I don't regret it or think it was wrong. I made that decision of a lifetime with Miss Doll.
外は真っ暗だった布団をかぶっていても肌寒い季節外れのこの寒さは雪でも降りそうなぐらい彼女が直感でそう分かっていた凛とした冷たい空気澄み切った時の静けさそしてその中でもどこかに感じる寂しげな凍える大地のそれは彼女が持つ独特の世界美しい彼女の
Right.
私の気配に気づいていたのか。さすがだな。
直感だよ隣にはやはりあのお人形さんが立っていた相変わらず美しいあなたが来たってことはいよいよなのね運命の歯車が回り始めるその瞬間が全てが始まりを告げるこの時が
良いのだな。
彼女がそう尋ねた時私はふとあの時の
Remember what?
あのおじさんの言葉を思い出していた決断する時は絆の場所を見ろって絆の場所全部壊れてしまったと思っていた絆の場所、ボロボロだった私の絆の場所本当は私全部見えてたんだお父さんの優しさお母さんの優しさ友達が持つ温かさも本当は心の中で全部覚えてた
Place of bonds, huh?
どうして忘れたふりなんてしてたんだろうどうして目を背けて一人うずくまって泣いていたんだろう顔を上げたらもっともっとキラキラした明るい世界が広がってたのにねでもねちゃんと私からつながった絆の場所にだからコクンとうなずいた瞬間彼女の白い指が私の足にそっと触れた
There's not much to say. I'm just trying to absorb it all right now.
彼女の温かさが一瞬優しく私を包む魂が宿ったそんな気がした
So there's something real to her.
これでお前は。
ええ私は幸せへと飛び立つ翼を手に入れたのね
ああ。
ありがとうお人形さん私は今飛び立つ翼を手に入れたこれで真っ青で自由な大空へと旅立つの今まで何のために生まれて何のために生きているのかお人形さんと出会って私やっとわかったの誰かが言った人は幸せになるために生まれてくるんだってその言葉私は人は生きる意味を探すために生まれてきたのだとそう思う
I think it actually is better said in the Declaration of Independence. They talked about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Like all men have the right to life, to exist, liberty, to have the freedom to make choices, and the pursuit of happiness. We're not entitled to happiness. Happiness is something we find on the journey. Like, it's something that we have to discover and search for, and we find and define all of our own. No one else's happiness is going to amount to what would work for us. Like, you could see everyone around you being happy doing something, but that doesn't mean it makes you happy, nor should you feel like it should, and nor should you feel wrong or like weird if things that make others happy don't make you happy. I had a really good conversation with a friend of mine about being asexual, because that's a kind of a thing. It's like, they expressed to me how there's just not a large push for intimacy. Not that it doesn't exist. With the right people and the right circumstances, there is a desire for intimacy, but the intimacy that they sought wasn't physical intimacy usually. It was usually emotional intimacy, being able to have someone to confide in, to talk to be themselves around. And that was a far more valuable than any physical intimacy ever has or probably ever will be. That doesn't mean that physical intimacy isn't part of of their life. It's the idea, the realization and understanding that not everyone pursues the same types of things in romance, in relationships, and in even physical intimacy. Like these are things that are different for each and every one of us, and we shouldn't feel broken or defective because we have different tastes and different needs. As long as we're not harming others, there's literally no reason for us to be ashamed of the differences that we have. We should be celebrating them. I think people are born to search for meaning and joy and happiness in their lives. Everyone's joy, happiness, and meaning is going to come from different places in different forms and at different times. Some are lucky enough to find it really early and they just kind of seem like they coast through life. Although I think that's also a lie. I think everyone has to face challenges. Some people spend almost their entire lives searching for happiness and then find it finally at the end of the journey. But does that mean it's any less valuable regardless of when people discover it? It doesn't matter the amount of work or the patience it takes. Happiness is out there for each of us, and every person has a right to pursue that happiness. And part of that pursuit, I believe, ultimately translates into being able to follow whatever your whims and dreams lead you, to take risks, make mistakes, get messy, classic lines like that. It's really true. And that we don't have a right to judge what makes people happy, nor do we have a right to dictate where happiness comes from. Your parents don't know what's going to make you happy, and they shouldn't. And you don't even know what makes you happy, so what makes you think everyone else will suddenly know what makes you happy? They can give you advice, and it's never bad to listen to that advice and to take it into advisement, but pursue what actually makes you interesting, what brings you joy. I don't cover visual novels on a YouTube channel because I plan on it making me incredibly successful and famous. I don't do this because it somehow is giving me more joy than otherwise would be. It's simply me being able to share something I'm passionate about with people because I like to talk about and express myself. And it's something I don't get to do often. And I feel so much joy doing this. And that's enough motivation for me. That's all it really takes. That's all it really needs. And I hope you have something in your life that you can be that passionate about. I hope you have many things you can be that passionate about. I don't think you have to be a one-trick pony, and I don't feel like I am either. I've been picking up painting recently. I've been getting back into Magic the Gathering with my friends. It's a great way for us to bond even across great distances with COVID. We found ways to make it work, and it's been really enjoyable. I'm very, very happy because my life has been filled with joy in ways that make me feel happy, not anyone else.
私は私が生きる意味、私が生きる場所、ありがとう、お人形さん。
そうか。
私がこの足で、お人形さんの辛さや悲しみも、星屑に変えて、未来にばらまいてきてあげる。
頼もしいな。
それくらいできなきゃ、私を選んでくれたお人形さんに、申し訳ないもの。あなたは、私の願いを叶えてくれた。次はお人形さんの番よ。ほら。私がせかすと、お人形さんは、それをどこからか取り出し、私の手に握らせた。
覚悟はできているようだな。
これが、キラキラしてて、綺麗。お人形さん、任せておいて。私、しっかりと受け取ったわ。もうすぐよ。もうすぐで、すべて終わるから。
そうか。
その時、お人形さんの顔が少しほころんだ気がした。あ、笑った？私は、その表情を少しも見逃さなかった。少しだけだけど、その一瞬だけ、微笑んだであろう顔も、とっても綺麗で。
I really want to know more about her. She's the most interesting part of this whole story to me.
ちょっと得した気分で、私はすごく嬉しかった。お人形さん、今笑ったよね。何か見えた？その先に。希望？それとも、お人形さんは何も答えてはくれなかった。ねえ、お人形さん、もう少しよ。もう少し、あなたが幸せになれる。いぶきちゃん、和也くんは任せておいて。
Interesting. So somehow she's supposed to find happiness from them.
しっかりと。私が二人を照らす、灯火となるから。ねえ、お人形さん、私にこんな大役と自由をくれて、ありがとう。涙混じりに、そうお礼を言うと、彼女はすでにいなかった。
I still don't understand why she has to why do all the people who get these gifts from her have to end everything? Like, why is that part of the pact? Like, I was hoping that we'd get an explanation there, but we really didn't. It's just like, oh, okay, this is how it works. Yes, right now. In that gloomy box sealed away inside a cage, I accepted the wings to fly to happiness.
ちょっと待て。俺の使命って言うけど、じゃあお前の使命ってなんだ？ここまでいろんなこと、俺にベラベラ喋って押し付けるように伝えといて、そして自分ははいさようならってか。それがお前の使命なのかよ。それが前へ進む気持ちなのかよ。勝手だろそんなこと。なんでお前がそんな状況になってるんだよ。ここまで俺にこの戦いを押し付けたのなら最後まで見届けろよ。
Respect, bro. Thank you.
この俺の結末がどうなるのかをよ。
I want to see it through to the end too. That's how I really feel. But I can't do that because I exchanged my lifespan for 3 wishes. Oh. Gotcha. So why does she have to make it such a dramatic entrance though? The first was my own wish. The second, to help Kazuya be able to protect Ibuki. A wish for the future. And the last, a wish I created for Ibuki. Because she didn't tell me the truth in the depths of her heart. Because she deceived me. Because this may be my gamble, but a gamble that if I show Ibuki my last moments, maybe I can inhibit that. Okay. Well, that's a terrible way to go about it. So she's going to try and help Ibuki see that she doesn't need to pursue an end. That's just terrible, though. This last one goes against Miss Doll's will. But I'm sorry, Miss Doll.
見届けなくたって、平気だよ。君はきっと、いぶきちゃんを守って。そして、この戦いを勝ち抜くことができるもの。だから、見なくたって平気だよ。君は絶対、この戦いを勝ち抜いて。そして、ノーザリアの中心から、すべてを解放していくの。わかってる。
Is it from impatience? Kazuya's face grows stern. That's to be expected. What a foolish thing I'm doing. That's what Kazuya must be thinking. But that's fine. If Ibuki strongly thinks so too.
まどかちゃん、私にはまどかちゃんが必要なの。だから、考え直して。今は無理でも、きっと答えは変わるはずだから、その先には違う答えが待っているはずだから。誰だって、不安なんだよ。孤独なんだよ。一人じゃ弱くて、寂しくて。だからこそ、一緒に手を取り合って頑張っていこうよ。ね、まどかちゃん。
That's right, Ibuki. Everyone is alone and has anxieties. We can't live in solitude. That's why everyone lives while taking each other's hands. You hid it from me. That your heart disease is terminal. Oh, gosh. Fetch. Well, that does change things, doesn't it? And that gets a perspective on Ibuki's feelings as well, right? It's like, that's one of those things where it's like the real choice where it comes to like ending things early that actually kind of makes sense, but that's terrible to say. But when you're staring down like a journey that you know its destination is not far off, and when you know that every day you proceed forward is going to be a step further and further down into poorer and poorer health and increasing pain and suffering, that's where I can really start empathizing with the choice. Fetch, man. Alright, so no one's gonna be happy here. Everyone's life's gonna be just horrible, right? Fetch, man. God, I'm so mad. I'm mad, but like I'm frustrated for everybody. And because of that, you tried to throw your life away. Like this. I can't forgive that. I ask Ibuki a question.
ねえ、いぶきちゃん。自分の弱さを認めることって、すごく苦しいことだよね。だからね、目をつむって、両手で耳を塞いで、息を止めて、いぶきちゃん。私ね、そうやって逃げちゃうんだ。いぶきちゃんも、そんな時ってあるかな？
How will Ibuki respond to my question? Just one sentence is enough. I want her to say it. I understand those feelings too. That. Feelings to acknowledge yourself. Those are what make you strong.
何を言ってるの？ねえ、まどかちゃん。私はわからない。だって、まどかちゃんはそんなに弱い人間じゃないはずだよ。自分をしっかり持ってて、いつの間にか、周りの人もまどかちゃんの笑顔で太陽のように輝いていく。それがまどかちゃんなんだよ。だから、私は、そんなまどかちゃん見たくないよ。
I want you to get strong, Ibuki. I want you to have a strong spirit. You're still carrying around those feelings. That's dangerous. In order to prevent that, I'll use what little remaining life I have. The time limit on my life has given me courage. So I'll spurn these feelings of wanting to help my best friend Ibuki. Nothing scares me. Nothing. I've finally been allowed a path to put an end to my life. But it'd be a waste to use it for my own sake. So she's literally decided to do things like this because the agreement that you get wishes, and in return your life timeline is incredibly shortened. Like you pretty much get to have like a little burst of just like whatever you want, and then it's over. And Madoka's deciding that she's going to try and use this opportunity while she's only got a few minutes left to leave an impression, to somehow try and convince somebody not to like follow in her footsteps. I really don't think that's a good idea. Fetch, man, that can just make it worse. That's not the way to go. Not at all. I at least want this one life of mine to be useful to Ibuki. Oh, come on, you are useful. Even if you expire in the next 3 minutes just laying here on the roof, like, that's still useful.
太陽か。ねえ、いぶきちゃん。強がって見せてる私だって、本当は弱いんだよ。だからこんなことしてるの。みんな、強さの裏側には、弱さを隠し持ってるんだよ。
That's true.
だからね、時々目を伏せちゃう。でもね、たくさんの人の温かさに触れたとき、見知らぬ誰かに励みになる言葉を囁かれたとき、いぶきちゃんの太陽にも負けない輝く笑顔を見たとき、
Right.
こんなにも世界も人も輝いてて美しいんだから、怖くっても勇気を出して目を開けてなきゃっていつも思うの。そうして温かさを心に焼き付けるの。ねえ、どんなことがあっても自分に負けちゃダメ。私はそう思うんだ。自分の弱さとうまく付き合えば、どんな時でもきっとうまくいくって。
ねえ、だったらどうしてまどかちゃんはそんなところにいるの？
Yeah, you're not. What you're saying doesn't match what you're like doing.
まどかちゃん、戻ってきてよ。変なこと考えるのはやめてよ。
私の言葉、いぶきちゃんにちゃんと響いたかな。怖くても勇気を出して。ずっと目を開けてるんだよ。
あ、
まどかちゃん、 今なんて。
Ibuki's a very kind girl. The fact that Kazuya is going to get wrapped up in the North Zarya battle, if she knew that was for her sake, again, Ibuki would definitely. That's why I throw a mean question at her. Not just to Kazuya, but to you too, Ibuki. I want you to become strong.
ねえ、いぶきちゃん、いつか行ったことあったよね。初めて出会ったあの白い箱の庭で。いぶきちゃんは誰の前でも心の中では泣きながら笑ってるふりをするのって。あの時言った私の言葉は、あの言葉はいぶきちゃんに伝わったかな。本当に伝わったかな。だったらなんで私に本当のことを伝えてくれなかったの？
Ibuki's face twitches. Did she realize that I know?
伊吹
Kazuya looks puzzled too. It would be best to keep this quiet from him. If he knew Ibuki had been thinking of suicide, he'd be terribly shaken. He might think he's the reason, or some other uncalled for thing. That would only hinder the coming battle.
本当のことってまどかちゃん、一体何のことなのか。
Ibuki speaks to me like she's confused. Please, Ibuki, don't make me torment you any more than this.
辛いこと、楽しいこと、そして幸せなこと、なんだって二人で話してきたじゃない。まだこうして出会ってから半年足らずの短い間だけど、それでも私は前からの友達のように何でも話してくれるいぶきちゃんが好きだった。嬉しかったの。話すたびにどんどんお互いの距離が近くなっていく気がして、いぶきちゃんがこんな私なんかにどんどん心を開いてくれるのが、毎日いぶきちゃんが病院に来るのをだからこそ何でも話してほしかった。
That's when then my vision suddenly wavers. I don't have time. I get impatient. That impatience presses Ibuki further.
何のことかわからないよ。私はまどかちゃんに隠し事なんてしてない。私は今まで通りの私だし、これまで通りにまどかちゃんが大好きだよ。そんな大好きな親友に隠し事なんて。
She couldn't possibly know. That's probably what she's thinking. Unable to hide her confusion, her speech falters. Her expression shows that.
いぶきちゃん、私はそんなとこも含めていぶきちゃんが大好きだよ。だからこそ、大好きないぶきちゃんだからこそ、私は全てを話したの。心の中にもやもやしてるものを溜め込んだままは嫌だから。
My head is becoming even more unsteady. Ibuki, I want you to notice the weakness in your own heart. Because that weakness, it will definitely cause Kazuya pain.
もちろん私だってそんなの嫌。まどかちゃんは親友だから、大事な友達だから。私はまどかちゃんがだから。
I tell this to Ibuki like I'm delivering a killing blow. Like I'm confronting her with everything in my heart.
そう。私たちは親友だよね。いぶきちゃんは、きっと、周りの人たちを傷つけたくないって、いつも思ってるから。だから、言えなかったのかもしれないけれど。ねえ、いぶきちゃん。親友に、ずっと嘘をつかれてたって、気づいてしまったとき。
Don't do this.
身が引き裂かれそうなぐらい、辛くって、苦しいよ。私たちの絆、友達同士の絆が、どれほど脆いか、突きつけられてる気がして。私ね、お父さんに裏切られても、友達に裏切られても、本当に大切なものは、目に見えないって誰かが言っていたように、二人をつなぐものに、凛とした、美しい、切れるはずのない絆を、心の目で見てたんだよ。感じてたんだよ。だからね、私、いつでもいぶきちゃんの力になりたかったのに、いぶきちゃんは、どうして信じてくれなかったの？
Freaking brutal, man.
私たちの。
I turned just a little in Ibuki's direction. Because of my words, Ibuki is shaking so badly, it seems like she'll collapse. Large tears fall from her eyes. It hurts like having a stake driven into my heart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ibuki. This is the only way I could make you notice. Become strong, Ibuki. My pulse gradually quickens. It gets harder to breathe. But, no, not yet. I can't quit now. I still haven't heard the voice of Ibuki's heart.
なあ、お前と伊吹のことは俺にはよくわからないが、お前の今の行動にそれが繋がるのか、よく考えてくれ。大体、お前のそれは逃げだろ。すべてを諦めて、自分を追い込んで。でも俺には逃げるなって、そう言っただろ。お前の信念はそんなものだったってのか。俺に、夢に向かった気持ちを取り戻せみたいなこと言っといて、自分を強く見せたふりしやがっ。なんなんだよお前。そんな思わせぶりな期待させないでくれ。
違うよ、和也くん。これは逃げじゃなくて、もう一つの希望。そして、夢に向かう気持ちは、希望の光。それは、私も一緒だよ。
I respond without hesitation. My feelings that don't reach him. The view in front of me suddenly changes. My surroundings gradually start getting dark and cloudy. My vision falters. That's when the terror that had been hiding in the depths of my heart comes at me like an avalanche. My body trembles. My heart is pounding annoyingly loud. I see. That's right. This is the end of my life. Thank you, Miss Doll. My heart isn't darkness and clouds. It's still brand new. I spread my arms out wide, slowly, so slowly. It feels just like I've become a bird. The wind hits my entire body, hitting my entire body feels nice. That's when I confirm it. Oh, I see. I'm finally flying out of that narrow birdcage, unrestrained by anyone, no one in my way, not even fettered by my own life. I can hear Kazuya's voice in the distance.
やめろ、やめてくれ。お前はこれまで伊吹を支えてくれてたじゃねえか。だからこれからも支えてやってくれよ。伊吹のためにも。本当にお前が伊吹を大事な親友と思っているのなら。
I can't hear it very well, but it vaguely reaches my ears. Just barely. Then as if flowing, it pumps into my heart. That's no good. You're the one beside Ibuki. You're the one who will protect Ibuki from now on, not me. Like I'm mustering the last bit of my strength, I do my best to bluff and make an appeal to them.
違うの、和也くん。
Don't do it!
いつまでも私なんかに頼ってちゃダメ。聞いて、和也くん。この私の行動、そして決断はきっとこの戦いを勝ち抜くために必要不可欠なものになるの。
That makes no sense.
今はわからないだろうけど、これから始まっていく戦いの布石になる。私にはわかる。夢を目指す苦しみ、挫折、自分の実力を突きつけられる現実。君は夢を叶える一歩手前まで行ったんだよ。そこまで上り詰めるのはとても実力が実らない日もあったかもしれない。ライバルたちを蹴落とし追い抜き、疎ましがられ、たくさんの仲間たちが夢を目指すことは何かを犠牲にすることでもあると思うから。
That's true.
でもどんなに叩きのめされても諦めず這い上がり、自分だけを信じて突き進んでいった。その情熱があったからこそ、自分を信じて情熱を貫いたからこそ、君は夢を叶える一歩手前まで行けたんだよ。それはとてもすごいことで、誰にだってできることじゃない。君にまだこの気持ちが、そしてこれから起こる数々の死闘、苦難、
Music's good, by the way.
自分よりもずっとさらに強いノーザリアが襲ってきたとしても、決してくじけることなく戦っていける。君の武器はどんな能力にも勝る、その素晴らしい心の強さなんだから。ねえ、伊吹ちゃんを守って、その手で守り抜いて。
I've already used up all my strength. My body's weak. At this point, my willpower is the only thing keeping me on the ground. Did it reach them? Kazuya? Ibuki? I can't see anything anymore. Only the sound of my heart rings hollow in my ears. More intense than usual. But I won't be able to hear that soon either. That's right. Kazuya, you can't rely on me. I'm someone who lost to their own weakness. This isn't the time to be feeling depressed. I can't get cold feet over something like dying. That's why...
見せてほしい。取り戻してほしいの。君の心の内にある本物の伊吹ちゃんを守れる心の強さを。
Seems I still have some left. I muster all the strength in my body and say this. That's right. You'll come face to face with many life and death battles from now on, and you must overcome them. That's why I'm just a triviality. The 7 mansions of the Black Tortoise, the battle between the Northaria, that sad, cruel story Mistal passed on to me. You're the main character of this story. Yes, this will certainly be the last main character. The gathered warriors born under the 7 stars. For the power, the Northaria will suffer, struggle, flounder. 18 years ago, that happened. That cold, dark forest, but a beautiful forest wrapped in a gentle warmth. It all started there. 2 contradictory sentiments mingle. The still of the silence that calmly flows, the white band of memories that flows through this world of snow. I know all of these memories. This is a momentary, flickering, never-ending love story. The chains of life that one can never escape from. I know everything. That as Ibuki was about to be hit by a truck, Miss Doll saved her. The Miyu Iori entered that beautiful forest. About the other Northaria. Miss Doll's name, and about so. I know. The encounter. Everything started from that first encounter. Trapped inside a cage, then finally knowing freedom. The same as me. That's why I was able to become one with her. Long, long ago. The people of that village, desperately whittling away at their own lives, not knowing even how it would go. Protecting that person in spite of that. Feelings of wanting to help. Kind feelings. The feelings of all 7 of them becoming one, and it was completed. This was definitely inevitable as well, not a coincidence. It was supposed to happen. I started when she learned of love. Love with So. Love for her children. Love with that person who wiped away the unwarded tears. And that love started again with Kazuya. Love springs forth, continues to spring forth. Over and over, it's molding into one again, and with the passing of time, it breaks up. Even so, you bind yourself with peace of mind and jet black chains. No matter how many hours pass, no matter how many nights break, no matter how many moons wax and wane, love is eternally unchanging. Even though I know all of this, even though I know everything, there's one thing I don't know. Just one thing. What I don't know is your future. That's why I'm anxious. That's why I want you to become strong. Even if I'm not here, you have to continue heading only forward. You mustn't always depend on someone to help you. That's why. Kazuya raises his voice like my feelings have reached him. The air shakes like his spirit reaches all the way over here, but only a little of it reaches me. Even so, I desperately plant my feet so I can retain those feelings in my heart.
俺バカだった。間違ってた。自分一人が世界中の不幸を背負ったような顔をして、伊吹に、レイに、ミユに、そして周りの連中にもたくさん迷惑かけて、たくさん傷つけてた。だから一人でも、この俺のことを応援してくれている人間がいるのなら、この俺にまだあの時のような気持ちが残っているのならできないかもしれない。またくじけてしまうかもしれないけど、これからどんなことがあったとしても、もう俺は後ろを振り返らずに前を向いていたい。
Partway through it, it takes everything I have to listen. Tears come out, big tears running down my cheeks. I can see one's light in this gradual fading scenery. Amidst the light that's gradually being obstructed from my eyes, I can see one other beam of light. The light called hope. It's okay. Kazuya, it's okay now. My feelings reached you. And all that's left is Ibuki. I want to hear Ibuki's voice. I want to know her strength. Ibuki, Kazuya yells. Is he talking to me? Or to Ibuki? It's a roundabout way of speaking that could be taken either way.
だからお前も自分に負けずに
That's when my vision suddenly goes black. And at the same time, Kazuya's faintly echoing voice is cut off. It's a completely empty space. Whoa, the cut off of the music was really... Ugh. I could see nothing. I can hear nothing. Not even the sound of the wind. Or the flow of the air. The things I could see and sounds I could hear. They were all just taken from me. The sound of my heart was already the only thing I could hear. But even that sound has disappeared now. I'm alone. I'm alone in empty darkness. But I'm not the least bit scared. That's not a lie. Because there are a lot of people beside me. Ibuki, Dr. Bear, my dead mom, the memory of my dad. I know a lot of people that are supporting me. So I'm okay, even if I can't see. Yeah. Because I can see that with my eye of my heart. I see. I knew it. I've been able to see a light in front of me for a while now. It's a vibrant and distinct light, the likes of which I've never seen. That light gradually gets bigger. Yeah, this is the light of Kazuya and Ibuki's hope. It's a warm and gentle light like the sun. Before I know it, the light spreads out around me and gently envelops me. It's warm. It's fine, I don't hear Ibuki's voice anymore. I'm sure of it. Ibuki will definitely be okay. Those might be my last words. I calmly open my mouth to speak.
私、これでやっと安心して飛べる。ねえ、いぶきちゃん。和也くん、私、この狭い鳥かごの中から、この広い広い大空へと飛び立てるの。お母さん、やっぱり私、お父さんが大好き。お母さんも、やっぱりお父さんが好きだから、ずっと一緒にいたんだよね。いたかったんだよね。たとえ、どんなに辛いことがあっても、私も同じだよ。ごめんね、お人形さん。こんなことして。ねえ、でも、いいでしょ？ちゃんと約束は成し遂げたんだから。使命は、果たしたんだから。和也くんはちゃんとやっていける。その強い気持ちは、ちゃんと私に伝わったから。星の宿命にだって、きっと立ち向かえる。ねえ、そうでしょ？お人形さん。だって、あの人は、あなたの人生のすべてを救ってくれた。
The two of them will be okay. Hey, Dad, Mom. We can finally meet again. The three of us can live together again. Kind Dad. Always smiling Mom. Like that. And we were at the time. Hey, Miss Doll. Living without hope is really exhausting. It's the same for me. Sorry, Miss Doll. I went on ahead. Life and death. The two will never meet.
そうではない、王女まどか。
That's when I suddenly hear a voice. Of course, it's not from outside, but it feels like it's welling up from within my heart. It's a very gentle tone. Whose voice is this?
生と死とは、極限による二律背反の意志。ただの事象と産物としての形でしかない。わかるか、王女まどか。木や花、そして風や雲、やがてはこの空に瞬く星たちさえも、いずれゆっくりと目を閉じるのだ。自分が生きてきたことに対する命の還元。その行き着く先は常に一つ。そうだ、たった一つでなければならないのだよ。
Miss Doll. That voice belongs to Miss Doll. When I hear her voice, I calm down for some reason.
ああ、ずっと見ていたよ。
That makes sense. Miss Doll. I gave them to Kazuya. Your intentions, I conveyed them to Kazuya.
ありがとう。
I'm sorry for doing this, Miss Doll. But I want Ibuki to get stronger. You love Ibuki too, don't you? That's why you protected her a second time.
ああ。
Thank goodness. Seems you aren't angry. Well, you said earlier, it's difficult and I don't really understand, but The feelings are still kept in here in my chest even now. So,
ああ、あの白銀の世界がお前を呼び寄せ、そしてその純粋さゆえの憧れが私の過去を呼び寄せた。お前の命、汚れなく、よどみなく、見事だった。さあ、行くがよい。お前のことを待っている者たちのために。
yeah, that's right. Thank you, Miss Doll. I can't hear her voice anymore. Before I realize it, I'm singing that lullaby. The lullaby Miss Doll cherishes. Why am I singing this song right now? Oh yeah, I definitely wanted to have the same feelings. I sing, so that it'll reach Miss Doll. To send her my feelings. She's the one and only person who understood me and noticed my happiness. Our hearts overlap, closer, touch more. When I sing the lullaby, strangely I have peace of mind and calm.
そっか、やっとわかったよ。この子守歌の真実。この歌は、私は太陽のような光に包まれていた。その光はもう眩しいくらいに輝いていて、その光を目指して、私は鳥のように翼を広げ、それはとてもとても優しい光だった。お父さん、お母さん、ただいま、くまちゃん先生、看護婦さんたち、本当にありがとう。和也くん、頑張って。そして、いぶきちゃん、本当に、本当に。
Oh gosh, we didn't need this.
私の前には、笑顔があった。太陽みたいな明るい笑顔。あなたはキラキラして、いつも輝いていたの。お日様の恵みを一心に受けているのかしら。私は
Didn't need this
あなたみ
today.
たいになりたかった。
Guys, I didn't need this today. Gosh darn it.
だって素敵な女の子だもの。私を元気にしてくれる女の子なんだもの。でもある日、その強い日差しの中に、私は小さな日陰を見つけてしまったの。その日陰を消し去るように、私は自分の精一杯の光をあなたにぶつけたわ。ねえ、いぶきちゃん、約束したよね。ずっと輝いていて、と。だから頑張って。三人で力を合わせて。私は、二人の道筋を照らす太陽になれたかしら。きっと大丈夫。あなたの日の光をずっと浴びていたのだから。これが最後のお願い。私の日差しを受け止めて。
Well, fetch. I don't really know what to say. Okay. So now we can technically move on. But we probably are going to go back and do the Kazuya and Ibuki. And then Keigo, Miyu, Minato, Rei. And we're not done with Madoka, though. It looks like we have to unlock it, I'm guessing. I really, I'm kind of annoyed because I feel like you can't do something like that without, explaining why it was necessary, I think. Well, you can, but, I don't know. A borderline feels, irresponsible. So I'm going to have to be careful with this posting. I likely had a big, warning at the beginning of this video because I've already decided I'm going to make one at this point. But I don't think it should be something that we just don't talk about or we don't cover on the channel. And the thing is that means that we're going to be talking about this next episode too, because I'm guessing Madoka's was the longest of the three, but now we have to see things from Kazuya and Ibuki's points of view, and it's going to be very similar conversations, so And yeah, obviously we're going to be having some pretty heavy topics to cover for this entire game, so just buckle up for that. But yeah, it's not bad to talk about it, but we just got to make sure we understand frame of reference understanding, and primarily the fact that no matter who sees this, whoever you are, you might be facing similar thoughts, and you need to make sure and understand that, like, we're going to be exploring in the near future that as beautiful as, like, the parting was for Madoka here, and as much as it, like, is moving, we're about to see the horrific damage that it's probably going to do, because I get the feeling that the game's going to explore this a lot and be like, look, context and people and lives are not something that get thrown away without severe repercussions. And whilst she may not have had ultimately a choice, like, I don't think that what she did is going to be as beneficial as it is going to cause harm. So we're going to have to see how that plays out, but for now we're going to have to just wait on it. So obviously this video is a little bit different. It's not going to be monetized. Like, even if it could be, I'm not going to let it, because when topics this heavy come up, I don't think it's right. The only way I could justify is if I donated any of the funds that I get, but I don't make funds consistently on my videos at this point in my channel, so I'd almost rather just have it not be monetized than to feel guilty for, like, gaining money from it in a way that's hard to trace. Someday, if I were to be successful, I'd want to do something like, hey, I'm going to donate all the proceeds of this video to you know, a good cause that addresses things like suicide prevention and rehabilitation, and, you know, helping people with mental health and recognize and get the help they need. I don't have those resources. I have donated to those kinds of causes in the past, and I encourage you to consider, like, what you can do. It doesn't have to be donations. A lot of times it's just about being there for people, understanding, and, like, being willing to listen. And when people say scary things, like, take them seriously. Sometimes it might feel like a horrible choice that you're being put into, but sometimes getting people professional help is the thing that's necessary. And that, whilst they could say they hate you for it, like, hopefully someday they will thank you for it. But here's the thing, I'll talk about this again, I'm sure, because it's my favorite when it comes to this topic. Is one of my favorite shows is MASH. It's a great show full of great comedy, but it also has some very serious stories and lines it covers. And one of the stories, it follows doctors in the Korean War, American doctors specifically, who get drafted. So they're forced to go to the battlefield, but they go to, like, provide aid for soldiers close to the front. It's dangerous. It didn't pay very much, but it was a draft, so it wasn't something they could just avoid unless they wanted to, like, you know, be criminals and flee the country. And whilst it's like a show, a lot of it's grounded in some pretty harsh realities all the same. And one of the stories is about the main character Hawkeye realizing, as he's, like, fixing a fairly minor bullet wound, but still a bullet wound in a soldier, he realizes that this kid is obviously underaged, and that later he kind of figures out that he's, like, 17, but he lied to the draft board by using his brother's birth certificate to come out to war when he was 16, because he felt like he would be able to impress the girl he loved if he came back either as a successful, like, war hero or as a veteran, you know, with a scar, or with like a battle scar, you know, something to prove his manliness or whatnot. And at first, like, Hawkeye's like, well, look, all right, like, you do you. I'm not gonna get you. I'm gonna throw the book at you, but just be careful. And then, like, he watches a friend of his actually die when he really didn't need to. He was a reporter just trying to write a book, and he ended up getting caught in the crossfire and just dying in his friend's arms. And so Hawkeye goes back, and he just drags the MPs, the military police, there, and says, hey, this guy says he's this, but he lied, he's this, he's actually underage, he needs to go home. And the soldier, like, says, like, calls me, like, you scumbag, how dare you do this, you've ruined everything, like, I'm gonna hate you for the rest of my life. And Hawkeye's response was to smile and say, then let's help it's a good, long, healthy hate. Because even if people hate you for choices you make to try and help them, like, if it means you're giving them just that little bit more time, a chance to be themselves and learn and grow, even if they hate you for the rest of time, let them hate you, because as long as they're hating you, they're still around. And that's pretty powerful too. So I'm really I'm personally very upset about this because I feel like it wasn't handled as well as it could have been, and I hope it redeems itself in the future, but it's a really heavy topic. And again, Madoka was my favorite character of the series. So far, I don't like anybody else really. Like, Madoka was the one that I was most excited to learn more about, like, ever since we met her. But yeah, alright. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope the topics didn't bring you down too much. I'm gonna have to go into, I don't know, listen to some good music and probably cry a little bit just because it hits close to home, man. Like, these kinds of things are real, and they're darknesses that people face in real life, and whether you know it or not, people you know have faced it before, and it's like, fetch, man. It's just something else. But I appreciate you guys supporting me for coming to the channel and sharing in a story, even if it's uncomfortable. I hope it makes you talk. I hope it makes you think. I hope it makes you challenge. I hope it makes you want to do something to help, because there's so many people in darkness that just need that little extra help. And lately, we've been so much more isolated than usual. Imagine it's gotten only worse. So be mindful, be thoughtful. Know your worth despite how helpless or worthless you might feel. Know that there are people out there that care. Know that people will be affected by you and that will miss you terribly if you ever are facing such darkness. And that as much as it feels like there's nothing to be around for, like there is, if it's nothing more than the hope of a future, like that should be, and I hope it's worth it. And because it's wonderful and beautiful, and especially wonderful and beautiful to see people who pick themselves up and who move forward despite the darknesses they face, because those are the champions that we need in this world. And you can be, and probably will be, a very important person in the lives of others, many others. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and until next video, watching me up, see me next. See you there.